This is actually question 4 now. Adam Joshua, greetings Loy. How does personal branding differ from Western countries compared to UAE? Okay, if you're talking of through the loopholes, everyone likes to market and sell themselves larger than life. For example, Thai Lopez, all these Peng Joon, Dan Lok, all these internet marketers, even celebrity stars, they don't have any money, but they show I'm staying in a mansion, Lamborghini, big expensive car, hot babes. You can rent out a private jet for a photo shoot for $500 an hour and just show it off on Instagram. So this is also part of personal branding where people like to show off. It is even happening in Dubai where girls are standing next to a expensive car showing their tits, half tits out and this and that, and showing, oh, I'm so successful, do you want to know how to succeed, invest in this or sign up for my course. Okay, so that way where loopholes are concerned, personal branding is the same everywhere. But if you're talking about work as an employee in the West, the market is more regulated. You cannot bullshit, and if you try to show off, you'll not get employed in the West. In the Middle East, if you have a 2-inch, you know what, and you say I have a 10-inch, HR guy, oh wow. Everyone's showing off. The problem is in the Middle East, people who know how to show off, showing off like crazy, because there's no way to verify this information. But the ones who do not know how to show off, they are just copy paste stuff from the internet. So specifically in the West, if you show off or if you change your document, you can be taken to task because they maintain records. In the Middle East, unless you're working for a multinational company, they don't keep records. But if you're applying for the government and you bullshit, you might even get arrested. Personal branding in the Middle East is exaggerated, is too many claims, people claiming to know everything and they can do anything, and it's so much of bullshit. In the West, it is very measured. People don't show off, because if you do, you'll not get, nobody will entertain you. Last if not the least, in the Middle East, the personal branding, if you try to market yourself as a brand, you most probably may not get employed. What do I mean by that? If you position yourself as a CEO, I get so many people who say, I'm internationally industry expert and I'm a global this thing, I'm a director. Company will look at your profile and say, oh my goodness, this guy is such a big head. If I were to give him a job, bloody he'll run over my business. So be careful not to overly do too much. Okay, so that's a difference between West and East. Okay, question number 5, Adam Joshua, the most wanted job positions in the UAE. The most wanted is sales, without an iota of doubt, sales, because almost every company needs a sales guy. So if you have sales experience and you have a driver's license and you know the UAE market, you will always be in demand, always. But now the question is, Loy, what if I don't have a driver's license? In 50 degrees heat in the Middle East, how will you travel? Taxi? And taxi will take away, taxi is bloody expensive. So what, you're going to spend 80% of your salary in taxi? Okay. The next one is, if you know nothing of the UAE market, the guy tells you, go to Nar. You'll be like, where? Okay, go to Quain. You'll be, what? Sukim. Who? So you need to know the market, man. So sales, yes, sales is the most demanded job. The second one is customer service. The third one are these miscellaneous ones like accounts and, you know, admin and all that. But the problem over there is all the people from third world countries come there. So the salaries, what they ask per month is what you might ask for 2-3 days. It is that low. So unless you're really good at your job and you're really good at marketing and selling yourself, you might get a job that is non-sales. But if you're targeting sales, I've given you those three combinations. Or your CV has to be spectacular, where you have an amazing track record. Question 6. Adam Joshua once again. Can a foreigner gain UAE citizenship after living there for 30 years? It's been mentioned in Wikipedia, if you lived there more than 30 years, your knowledge of Arabic, you can apply for citizenship. I've always put it in my videos. UAE changes its laws like you and I change our underwear. Okay. Now, after Israel and the Abraham Accord and Expo 2020 and all that, the laws have changed so many times. Even Wikipedia is finding it hard to keep pace. But this is what I know from Emiratis who are there. Number one is, yes, you have to know Arabic, but you have to be a Muslim and you need to have Arabic roots. Okay. If you have those three, then you can be considered for actual citizenship and passport. But now let's assume you are not a Muslim. Let's assume you're not an Arab. You can get the passport, okay, provided you show bank statements, provided you're financially strong and powerful. Because they don't want laborers for 40 years, 50 years in UAE. They want high network individuals. And remember, there's a difference between getting a passport and being called a citizen, at least in UAE. And one final thing is, just because you get a passport, okay, doesn't mean you'll be treated equally. The undertone that is there, the laws, they will always be biased towards the pure blood Emiratis. Even in Emiratis, they themselves have been fighting. Pure Emiratis, Iranian Emiratis, who became Iraqi Emiratis, and I've heard so many stories over there. So yeah, the bottom line is money talks. A lot of money, lots. You might get a passport. Citizenship, Arab, Muslim, that is important. Okay, because they need to preserve their culture and heritage. What I suggest to you is, don't just take my advice for it. Go to a lawyer, local lawyer, government appointed, and find out the right information, or physically go there. Don't just depend on Wikipedia, because it depends from profile to profile. Question 7. Raps 143. What is your advice, opinion, if an expat won a jackpot money in a UAE contest? How does he or she handle it when in the country? You get a jackpot, you keep your mouth shut. Like, if you make money, don't show off. Don't inform anyone. However, if the company gives you an option not to reveal your name and identity, do that. That's the best. So many times when my wife has won anything, I told her, just keep quiet. Don't even share. I tell my wife, never show off. More you show off, more enemies you make. Okay? And then fake friends and all that. Now, if in case they have to advertise your name and have to reveal your identity, be humble. Don't change your plans at all. Because remember, anything can happen. If you're working as an employee, continue working. Think you never got the money, continue working. Be nice to your boss. But at the same time, speak to the organizers and the bank on how you can withdraw the money. They will take a percentage. And if you try to take lump sum, they will deduct maybe 35 or 40% or whatever. Banks will take their cut. Maybe UAE will charge you some tax. Rest of the money, you can do bank-to-bank transfer. But then if you transfer the money to India, assuming you're Indian, I think you'll be taxed once again. So if you want that money without being taxed, you can keep it in UAE, get your own separate visa, but make sure you say goodbye to your employer after the contract. Do not get into an ego issue with him, because no matter, even if you won $1 million, your owner will have contacts, connections, and if he has Emirati network, then you'll get fucked. Just don't. My strong suggestion, never. Okay.